Peer-reviewed journals are often ranked at the very top of the publishing hierarchy in academia. Peer-reviewed journals secure what's called an editorial board, and that's a group of scholars in the discipline with a broad range of research specialties and interests, so that when an article is submitted to a peer-reviewed journal for publication, it's then sent on to the specific scholars whose interests are similar to the author and whose qualifications merit their consideration as experts in the field. These peers are going to evaluate the article to determine its potential value, decide whether or not it should be published in the journal, and suggest recommendations to improve the work before it's published. A peer review article might be accepted straight out, but that's really rare. Normally, most articles are returned to the author from the peer reviewers with notes for either minor or major revisions, encouraging the author to do something called revise and resubmit. This peer review process is almost always blind, meaning that the reviewers do not know the name of the author submitting the material, and the author does not know the name of the individual reviewers reading his or her work. Peer reviewers are notoriously rigorous and demanding in their expectations. Their interest is in ensuring that only top quality information is published by the journal that they're associated with. This revise and resubmit process may go through several iterations before the article is finally accepted for publication in the journal. And it's this peer review and editorial process that makes scholarly publishing such a time-consuming activity. The time from submitting an initial manuscript to seeing the final draft published in the journal may actually take years. And in fact, that's one of the biggest complaints about the traditional scholarly publishing process. It's that scholarship now moves much more quickly than can often be accommodated by the lengthy peer review process. And this frustration has led to scholars and librarians and institutions to explore alternate publishing models. Although I think it's important to note that these alternatives have not yet reached the stature in most disciplines that traditional peer-reviewed publishing still has. And then finally, we just want to make a note that before submitting an article to a peer-reviewed journal, you'll want to spend some time researching the journal itself, making sure that the content coverage is a good fit for your research, and making sure that it's a well-established and well-respected journal in your discipline. And you can always ask your professor or advisor or PI or anyone in your department if you're not sure whether or not a journal is a good place for you to publish.